Hi, my name is Natalie DeLeon, and this is my 4th grade unit on the California regions and Native Americans. There are many standards that are covered in this unit. The Common Core standards covered in this unit focus on content-specific vocabulary, writing expository text, citing evidence from various resources, researching topics, and presenting in various formats. Now, since this unit is technology-based, it will cover many of the ISTE standards. The students will be using technology to create original projects, research information, and they will be communicating and collaborating with classmates about projects. Lastly, they'll be using critical thinking through technology in the activities and strategies used. This unit will also include activities at each depth of knowledge. Implementing depth of knowledge in the classroom ensures that students are using higher order thinking rather than rote memorization and basic understanding of the material. In addition to depth of knowledge, this unit plan also addresses Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. The 8 different intelligences are verbal, interpersonal, naturalist, intrapersonal, kinesthetic, musical, visual, and logical. Students with verbal multiple intelligence need to use language to process and express their understanding of the material being processed. To meet the needs of verbal students in this unit, here are some activities that were included. Students will get to verbally express what they learned from a YouTube video by speaking to the Talking Tom app and having it repeat back to them what they said. Students will also get the opportunity to verbally explain the Salto maps that they created while showing us their work. Students will get to use and create a vlog where they are explaining why they think the things that they have found around our school would be useful to the Native Americans in this region. Lastly, these students will be completing a verbal autobiography using Audacity. The next multiple intelligence is interpersonals. Interpersonals enjoy interacting with others and enjoy collaborative activities. For these students, one activity that will be included is a group research project using Google Docs on 4 regions. Next, the students will be playing a matching game with their group members where they will be matching tribes and their characteristics while recording what they're doing on their iPads. The students will be creating a virtual book using Book Creator about one tribe from each region. Each group member will be assigned one region and we will share it and create one book together. The students will also be doing a Think, Pair, Share, reflecting on a virtual field trip about the Iroquois longhouses. They will reflect on their classmates' activities by using a forum on Google Classroom. The next intelligence are the naturalists. Naturalists are known for being in tune with nature and for categorizing. To meet the needs of naturalists, students will be going on a nature walk around the school to look for materials that could be useful to members from that tribe in this region. The students will be creating a vlog to document the process of finding the materials around the school in nature. Students will also be using the Poplet app to compare and contrast 2 tribes with their group by creating a double bubble thinking map on this app. This will allow them to use their strength of categorizing. Next is intrapersonals, and these students work best when they are on their own and can practice and process the information in their head. Being intrapersonal myself, I understand the activities that help these students thrive. Students will be able to do independent research on Native Americans from each tribe and will be posting what they learned on their Tumblr page. Students will also be writing a newspaper article using Foti.com about a hypothetical issue a tribe could be facing. Next, people with kinesthetic intelligence learn by moving and touching things. The activities that will meet these students' needs are creating the Salto map, which they will paint and design, and they will record explaining what they did. Next, students will be moving around during the matching game that I discussed earlier. And lastly, students will be playing a game where they are following a path of questions on the ground in their classroom. And this path that they take depends on how they answer the questions. The students will be filming this path that they take and will be using it as a study guide for a future quiz. Students will be walking around a class-sized map of California and will be using their mobile devices or iPads to scan the QR codes that will be on each region to read about the tribes that were inhabitants there. Next, we have musical students, and they think in sounds, rhythms, and melodies. Students will be listening to songs and chants from different tribes from a playlist that was created on iTunes and will be documenting their observations on Notability. Next, the students will be creating a chant or song in a group. The students will be given the option to use instruments if they would like, but if not, they can use clapping and stomping, which they will record and upload using Audacity or GarageBand. Students with visual intelligence think in pictures, and they use mental imagery and observation to understand the content that is being presented. To accommodate these students, they will be watching a YouTube video describing the California regions. They will be using Google Art Project and Smithsonian Learning Lab to get inspiration about Native American art for their own art project. The QR activity discussed earlier with the map of California is also beneficial for visual students because they will see where in California the tribes inhabited. Lastly, the YouTube video about the Iroquois tribe and their longhouses will help the students visualize what life was like and what the tribes looked like from that time. Lastly, for logical students, they have the ability to reason and think logically. These students like to plan and organize and analyze cause and effect relationships. In this unit, students will be planning how they are going to create their salt dome map by first using Doodle Buddy. The students will also be completing a rough draft of their newspaper article that they will share with other students using Google Docs in order to get feedback before completing the final draft. Lastly, the students will be organizing and planning out their character for the autobiography using Notability prior to recording it on Audacity. So there are many things that I have gained as a takeaway from this class. One of the most important things I have learned is to appreciate student differences and plan technologically engaging activities that will help students access the content. As a teacher, it is my responsibility to see each of my students' strengths and implement activities that help them learn and shine. Understanding multiple intelligence theory will help me identify these strengths in my future classroom and will make me a more effective teacher.